I took it a step further, as I always do, and I dubbed them princess boys because clearly they want the princess treatment. And being a woman of substance and means, I can provide that for them. Now, there's things that I want in exchange for taking care of a princess boy. And, if that is what men are interested in behaving like, I feel like I can do that. I can be that person for you. I can give you an experience you've never had. So they were not very happy with me about that one.
I like the movement. I'm not going to partake. Maybe
wake up call, same time. How would I not know how hard it is to do the show I work on? You have to constantly reaffirm that you are good enough, that you belong there, and then always prove it. So I would just always say you got to do twice the work to get half the opportunity. But that, to me, the mentality I've always had on it is that's just going to make me better. So that's why I'm excellent. Because I had to be. I couldn't be average. I couldn't be okay. I couldn't be late. I couldn't complain. I couldn't say no. Now I do.
Right. Just got done with rehearsal for the new show Speak, and I got to take a moment to shout out my co-host Joy Taylor. A woman, a black woman, daily show, sports. Do you all realize how hard it is to get into the position that she is in? So often there's misogyny and sexism running rampant in sports, and we don't even care what women have to say in sports.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I gotta tell you guys, I thought long and hard, no pun intended, about whether or not I should do this video about the bombshell allegations that have come out about the employees, the hosts at Fox Sports, okay? And one of the reasons why I thought so long about whether or not I should do this video is because, honestly, guys, the jokes just write themselves. And I can't help myself, right? If you're one of these type of people that don't like sexual jokes, this ain't the video for you, right? I'm already telling you right now, I'm going to have a whole lot of fun making this video, but I got to talk about it. I just can't help it, okay? It's just too juicy. It's too fun for me not to talk about these bombshell allegations against Fox Sports, okay? And one of the reasons why is because it really shows you how much of a joke this idea of professional women in sports really is. People pretend as if men actually give a damn about what these women have to say, right? And that they earn their way to the top, right? They earn their way into their position because of their professional skill set, right? When we all know what's really going down when it comes to some of these women in sports. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, I gotta tell you guys, this story right here really, really, really sets back women in sports. Now, this story involves a lawsuit, some bombshell allegations that were brought against Fox Sports by a hairdresser, a woman named Noshin Faraji, who claimed that Skip Bayless offered her $1.5 million for sex. Okay, this is what she claims. She also claims that she was harassed. She's claiming Me Too against several people at the network. Now, I'm not going to focus on these allegations against Skip Bayless, okay? I find it hard to believe that Skip Bayless offered $1.5 million for some box, but who knows? Anything is possible nowadays with these people, okay? I don't know. All I know is that if Skip Bayless did offer $1.5 million for a box, he should be punished, right? He should probably be thrown in jail because that is contributing to the hoflation out here, okay? I'm telling you, hoflation is out of control because of dudes like this, okay? So I'm saying I'm giving Skip Bayless the benefit of the doubt. I don't think that part of this story is true, right? I really, really, really hope he did not offer this woman $1.5 million for sex, okay? But the part of the story that I do want to focus on is the bombshell allegations against Joy Taylor, who's a female sports talk show host. She was the female host of Undisputed with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp for a while, and she did Colin Cowherd's show, I believe, as well, too, and she did Speak for Yourself. Now, Joy Taylor is the sister of Jason Taylor, a legendary NFL football player, and the allegations against her are pretty crazy, right? I mean, they're saying that she went full Kamala Harris. She was being passed around like a blunt at Fox Sports in order to make it to the top, aka she was sleeping her way to the top.
These hypotheticals have got us in a chokehold, and we must free ourselves. It's fun to argue about. It's fun to talk about what you would do in this scenario, or would you leave the game if the seats were high, or if a man took you this place on a first date, what you would do. And I'm telling you, like, every interaction that I have with people now, in some way or another, these things come up. Can we just keep it a buck? If they're fine enough, if they're funny enough, or if their financial status is what you want, fine, funny, fucking money, you're throwing all boundaries, standards, all that shit you talked on Instagram about how you would never, and this woman ain't because women this and men this, you're moving forward.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? Apparently, Joy Taylor's out here living her raps, okay? And we're going to go over the first set of allegations against Joy Taylor and how she made it to the top as a woman in sports, right? Because, again, this really is setting women back, okay? And the first dude that she allegedly slept with is Fox Sports executive Charlie Dixon, okay? This guy right here, this lovely individual, apparently she was involved in a romantic relationship with this guy in order to get on Undisputed, to get her job in the first place. Let's read this. In approximately March 2016, Miss Faraji met Miss Taylor, an aspiring sports personality that had recently moved from Miami to Los Angeles for the opportunity of a lifetime at Fox. At the time, Miss Taylor did not have a regular position, but would fill in on a day-to-day basis when talent was sick or otherwise missed time. Miss Taylor told Miss Faraji that she was recently wed, but her husband remained in Miami and that she was lonely in Los Angeles. Yeah, this is why long-distance relationships never work out, right? Do not ever get in a long-distance relationship. Miss Taylor then befriended Miss Faraji. In approximately May 2016, Miss Taylor asked Miss Faraji to meet for a drink in Santa Monica. When Miss Faraji arrived, she found Miss Taylor with an older man, Fox Sports Executive Vice President of Content, Mr. Dixon. As Executive Vice President, Mr. Dixon is responsible for overseeing all content and production at FS1. Miss Faraji, however, did not know Mr. Dixon. When Mr. Dixon went to buy them another round of spicy margaritas, Miss Faraji asked who he was. Miss Taylor responded that he was just a friend. Following that night, whenever Miss Faraji would meet Miss Taylor for drinks or food, Mr. Dixon would either arrive with Miss Taylor or show up later in the night and leave with Miss Taylor. He would always buy rounds of drinks and or food. From their body language, Miss Faraji suspected that the pair was sleeping with each other. And although this concerned Miss Faraji, as she knew Miss Taylor was recently married, Miss Faraji kept her opinions to herself. Yeah. So in a nutshell, Joy Taylor was running around with the executive vice president of the company and allegedly sleeping with the individual. Now, again, this is just hilarious to me because as you guys saw at the beginning of this video, Joy Taylor claimed that as a woman, you got to work twice as hard, right? You got to do so much in order to make it, right? As if she got into her position based off the marriage alone, right? But it gets worse, right? It gets worse. In approximately June 2016, while at work, Miss Faraji noticed Mr. Dixon in the elevator. Surprised by the coincidence, Miss Faraji found Miss Taylor and told her excitedly, the guy who always buys us our drinks was in the elevator. Miss Taylor quickly silenced Miss Faraji, explaining who he was. Miss Faraji became alarmed and warned Miss Taylor that such a relationship was unsafe. Miss Taylor told her not to worry about it. Miss Faraji continued to be friends with Miss Taylor, but tried to distance herself as she considered the situation dangerous as well as morally wrong, as Miss Taylor and Mr. Dixon were both married. In approximately 2016, word spread amongst Fox employees about a new show that was going to be a big deal as it would star Mr. Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. It was known that Fox was looking for a woman with significant television experience to also star. Therefore, it came as a surprise when Fox announced that Miss Taylor, who was a bartender and radio host in Miami with very little TV experience, would be the moderator of the new show, a sports debate program, Skip and Shannon Undisputed. Mr. Bayless later disclosed to Miss Faraji that he did not want Miss Taylor on the show, but Mr. Dixon was adamant that Miss Taylor should star. At first, Mr. Dixon arranged a dinner between Mr. Bayless and Miss Taylor where she arrived in provocative clothing and acted in a provocative manner. When that did not change Mr. Bayless' opinion of Miss Taylor, Mr. Dixon asked him to approve of her as a favor to him. Reluctantly, Mr. Bayless agreed to do so as a favor for his friend. Yeah, so allegedly, Skip Bayless did not want Joy Taylor to be the female host of Undisputed because she wasn't really qualified, right? She didn't have the experience. But Joy Taylor apparently was running around selling herself, basically like a prostitute, right? Wearing all this provocative clothing, okay, in order to get sexual attention and using sex as a weapon to move up, right, in the professional world. Again, amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Around August 2016, Ms. Faraji attended a dinner with Ms. Taylor and her husband and Mr. Dixon and his wife. During the dinner, Ms. Taylor's husband became suspicious that Ms. Taylor and Mr. Dixon were having a sexual relationship. Soon after the dinner, Ms. Taylor's husband found evidence of the inappropriate relationship and divorced Ms. Taylor. In approximately September 2016, Undisputed started. Ms. Taylor requested Ms. Faraji to do her hair. Yeah, so apparently Skip Bayless was not interested in what Joy Taylor had to offer, right? He was not interested in her professional assets, right? Her skill sets, okay? But Shannon Sharpe seemed to be very interested, right? Because this is a picture of Shannon Sharpe at the Dodgers game with Miss Joy Taylor, right? So, I mean, hey, maybe there's reason to believe that Shannon Sharpe was very interested in what Joy Taylor was offering up to every man at Fox Sports. I mean, she was the community booty, so it seems. All right, so that is the first set of allegations about how Miss Joy Taylor used her sexuality to get to the top. Now, we got to talk about this second set of allegations that I think are even worse, right? It is hilarious to me because this one involves Mr. Emmanuel Acho, okay, who is one of these holier-than-thou, woke former NFL players that always wants to lecture and have these conversations about race.
The very first thing I had to do was say, hey, Noah, what is anti-Semitism? And she said it's actually interesting. It's both looking down at a Jew and looking up at a Jew, assuming that there is some sort of like covert powers that be that are monopolizing and manipulating the world at large. And so I asked her that. But then I also asked her the question, well, are Jews white? Because in America, if you're non-Jewish, you perceive Jewish people as white. And we've simplified things in society, Rev, to black and white. We've projected our Western ideologies onto thousands of years of Middle Eastern nuance. And so if we couple the Jewish community into the white community, and in America there's tension between the black community and the white community, then there has to be tension between the Jewish community and the black community because Jewish people are white.
Last I heard, I guess, north of 22 million. Ultimately, my goal was to start a dialogue. I grew up in white culture. I went to an all-white private school in Dallas, Texas, and I'm first-generation American. I'm Nigerian American, so I don't deal with the same hurt and pain in my heart due to years upon years of slavery. But nonetheless, Sharon, I'm clothed in a 6'2", 240-pound black frame. And so when I step outside, I'm still perceived as a threat. And so I realized there's a disconnect. Let's call it what it is. There's a disconnect between our white brothers and sisters and our black brothers and sisters. And it's because of limited exposure. I hung out with so many of my white friends and they asked me questions I never thought they had. For example, questions like, well, how come y'all only care about white on black crime and not black on black crime? Or how come black people can say the N-word, but white people can't? I wanted to expose so many of the questions. I wanted to educate the white community because several of my white friends are too scared to ask, or frankly, they just don't have black friends. And a big issue is a lack of education and exposure.
Well, is it insulting that the NFL may increase a team's draft position if they hire a minority head coach? Absolutely. But what's even more insulting? The fact we still have to have this conversation in 2020. Furthermore, I'd rather be insulted and be equal than be complimented and unequal. In 2003, the NFL implemented the Rooney Rule. That rule states any team which has a head coaching vacancy, they must interview an African-American candidate. Just 3 years later, for the first time in NFL history, we saw two black coaches face off in the Super Bowl. That's not a coincidence. Mind you, the first Super Bowl was in 1967, but let's talk about modern day. African-American offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Super Bowl winning Kansas City Chiefs. Did he get a
Yeah, so you see, now you heard that, okay? This guy, Emmanuel Acho, his whole brand is the woke black guy that can come in and have tough conversations, right? That can mediate conversations between black and whites and all these other individuals and stuff like that, okay? So apparently, Miss Joy Taylor was also sleeping with this guy as well, too, in order to get on his show. In approximately February 2020, Miss Taylor asked Miss Faraji to meet her for lunch in Beverly Hills. When Miss Faraji arrived, she found Miss Taylor with a man, Emmanuel Acho. Miss Faraji did not know Mr. Acho, but could tell that the two were romantically involved. A few months after meeting Mr. Acho at the lunch, Miss Faraji noticed him in the hallway while at work. Miss Faraji later asked Miss Taylor if Mr. Acho also worked at Fox. Miss Taylor confirmed and explained that she wanted Mr. Acho to eventually recommend her on the show Speak for Her Yourself. Miss Faraji became alarmed and warned Miss Taylor that she should probably not sleep with Mr. Dixon and Mr. Acho at the same time, as Mr. Dixon is a very powerful man that may become very angry. Miss Taylor told her not to worry about it. She explained that she was also now powerful, and once Mr. Dixon was no longer useful to her, she would follow through on her plan to tell the company that he forced himself on her. She would not allow herself to be forced out by Mr. Dixon like other women talent. Yeah, so again, this is the nature of women, guys. This woman, Joy Taylor, allegedly was sleeping around with these men in order to gain professional elevation at the workplace. And if she was to get caught, right, if she was to get outed, if she was to upset one of them, then she planned on accusing them of Me Too, right? Accusing them of sexual harassment. Wow. Wow. Again, this is the game, guys. This is the game. Sleep your way to the top. And if you upset the man that you're sleeping with, right, or he tries to punish you in any way, then you just say that, well, he raped me, right? He forced himself on me. Again, this is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. In approximately September 2022, Miss Taylor started to work on Speak. Miss Taylor requested Miss Faraji to do her hair. Yeah, so again, this is a hilarious story, right? For multiple reasons. Because now X is going back looking at Emmanuel Acho's X account, and clearly everybody can see that, yeah, there probably was definitely something going on between these two. Okay? This is stuff that he was posting about her. This is the woman.
Yeah, right there.
And check out this one right here. This is Joy Taylor on set, and Emmanuel Acho is recording her while she's doing this.
That's what I have to deal with, people. Like, just, I'm over here focused on the show, and, you know, just, I don't know what exactly she's doing.
Listen,
but
somebody has to look good around here, okay?
Slick, you see that shade she threw at you, bro? Because you weren't talking to me.
That was everyone.
Yeah. This is something that is a classic HR disaster, right? I mean, this guy knows, right? This guy knows, okay? He knows what's going on here. Now, this video right here is the funniest video in my opinion. And the reason why is because Emmanuel Acho is going to be talking about just how great of a professional woman and how talented Miss Joy Taylor is, okay? And how it's crazy how women like her don't get recognized when it comes to their talents in sports. Let's watch this.
Just got done with rehearsal for the new show Speak, and I got to take a moment to shout out my co-host Joy Taylor. A woman, a black woman, daily show, sports. Do you all realize how hard it is to get into the position that she is in? So often there's misogyny and sexism running rampant in sports, and we don't even care what women have to say in sports. But Joy is not only in the position on television as a woman, as a black woman, but as an opinionist. So not just asking men what they think, but providing her own unique and distinct insight. It's hard to do, and Joy, you have done it. So congratulations. Looking forward to working with you, and hope y'all tune in 4:30 to 6 Eastern every day starting next week.
Wow. Wow. The full context on this is, it's incredible. She blew this man's mind, right? Her mouthpiece blew him away. He was so impressed by her intelligence, okay? Her brain was incredible, absolutely incredible. You can tell, okay? I mean, this dude looks like he's posted up outside of her apartment, okay? In a moment of clarity, okay, he realized that, yes, she has an amazing head on her shoulders. Yeah. So, again, you know, it's just hilarious to me because I used to watch a lot of these type of shows back when they first got popular, okay, Undisputed. And that's the one thing I did notice about Joy Taylor. She clearly was sexualizing herself in the workplace. I mean, she was always posting thirst traps and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, you mean to tell me a woman who comes to work like this isn't selling herself to move up? She isn't using her sexuality. She isn't weaponizing her sexuality to move up? Come on now. Now, here's the thing. Clearly, this sets back women in sports commentary, right? Because, again, we have been gaslit to believe that these men actually give a damn about what these women have to say. They don't, okay? And everybody knew that. That these women were mainly on these shows as objects, right? They're just there for the eye candy. Everybody knows, okay? Everybody knows. But if you say that out loud, they say, oh, you're sexist, you're a misogynist, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, no, I'm just telling the truth. There's a reason why you don't see ugly female sports anchors, okay? The reason why is because they're there as eye candy, okay? They're there because people like to look at them. They're not there because people give a damn about what they have to say. That's the truth. That's the reality. So again, I can only imagine what some of these other women who are on these sports networks, probably have had to do in order to get into their positions. I don't know. I'm not saying every woman, but I'm just saying that if women are serious, right? If women are serious, this type of behavior should be condemned, okay? Joy Taylor allegedly was running around letting everybody at Fox Sports clap them cheeks, okay? She was offering up to anybody who would take it, okay? Anybody who would give her a job, right? She was giving it up, okay? Passing around the sweet potato pie, okay? It must have been incredible because she was getting all the jobs. It must have been immaculate, right? I'm just saying. So, this is just a really funny story because it just kind of proves what everybody knew to be true about a lot of these women that are, in sports and stuff like that. But I think that women should speak out about this and say, nah, this isn't okay. Okay, we don't have to clap our cheeks in order to get ahead. We should get ahead on our own merits. Okay, we shouldn't be sleeping around with the executives and stuff like that in order to get ahead and stuff. But hey, I personally think that if this type of culture didn't exist, it would be much harder for women to be in the male space of sports, because ultimately at the end of the day, the reality is that when it comes to women and their opinions on male sports, a lot of these men don't care, okay? I don't care what Emmanuel Acho says, his fake woke virtue signaling, okay? It's amazing how a woke man realizes, oh, this woman's so talented, but at the same time, he allegedly was sleeping with her. He don't give a damn about what comes out of her mouth. He only cares about what goes into her mouth. And all of a sudden, her mouth is so talented, right? She has so much talent. But at the same time, behind closed doors, he was clapping them cheeks. When she had got that job, if she wasn't letting him clap them cheeks, right? When she had got it, I highly doubt it, right? Her talent, as far as Emmanuel Acho was concerned, really was in the bedroom more so than what she was doing on set, right? But that's just the nature of sports. That is the nature of how it is, okay? Men, I'm not begging for men to be involved in women's spaces, okay? I am totally fine with women having their own space, okay? If they want to commentate and to do whatever they want in their space is fine. But this effort to force women into men's spaces, this is what you end up with, right? This is exactly what you end up with. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.